Hello everybody and welcome to my Rust survival tips video. These tips are intended for beginner/intermediate level players. Nothing official, but these are things that help me to survive, so I thought I'd pass them on. Please note that I take no responsibility if these tips don't work and you actually get eviscerated by an angry bear while zombies feast on... you know what, let's just move on ahead. Tip number 1. Use sound to your advantage. Both you and your enemies make noise when you move. Listen carefully for multiple footsteps to avoid being snuck up on. It's also a good idea to stop occasionally while moving around, to listen and make sure you're not being followed. Tip number 2. Know your enemy. Wolves are fast and can close the distance with you quickly. They're moderately tough and can be killed without much trouble when you have weapons. Bears are slower, but very tough. They can do a lot of damage and often require multiple shotgun blasts to kill. Strong zombies can be identified by the darker character model and can do a lot of damage. Fortunately, they're very slow, so can easily be dealt with using ranged weapons. Fast zombies are, as the name suggests, fast. They're the weakest zombies and can be taken down with a single good shotgun blast or arrow, but they move very quickly, closing the gap between them and the player in very little time. Tip number 3. Make your shots count. When using a gun or a bow, even a single miss can allow enemies to close the distance between you and make a delicious lunch out of your innards. Make that first shot count. Tip number 4. Get a bow early on. The bow is an excellent weapon for new players. It can be crafted easily and cheaply near the start of the game and is very powerful, although it does take some time to fire. It can kill most wild animals in 2 hits, bears in 4, and fast zombies in 1. Tip number 5. Know your hotbar. Make sure you know where everything is on your hotbar, as you may need to change suddenly in an emergency, and knowing what's where can save your life. Tip number 6. Keep an eye on your rads, shown in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Bear this in mind, especially in heavy irradiated areas. If your rads are getting too high, take some anti-rad medicine if you have some, and get out of there as fast as you can. Tip number 7. Keep an eye on your hunger, also shown in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Your hunger will steadily deplete as you're out and about, and you need to make sure it doesn't get too low. Replenish it with tasty food. Tip number 8. Keep an eye on your ammo. If you have a gun, the loaded ammo is shown next to the gun symbol on your hotbar. Keep your weapons reloaded so that you don't run out of ammo while fighting. Also keep an eye on how much spare ammo you have in your inventory. Tip number 9. Keep a light handy. At midnight the game is more or less pitch black. You should always have a source of light, be it a torch or a flashlight mod for a weapon. In an emergency, setting up a campfire can work as well. Tip number 10. Manage your inventory quickly. Learn to get the loot you find into your inventory as quickly as possible to prevent being attacked while occupied. Tip number 11. Always keep some spare medical supplies on you. You never know when you might need them. Using bandages stops bleeding, which causes you to take periodic damage. Using medkits restores your health the stated amount over a few seconds. The injured condition means that you move very slowly for a short while and wears off over time. Tip number 12. Keep hold of a pickaxe for gathering resources. Although it swings more slowly than the hatchet, the pickaxe gathers the resources at a much faster rate, except from trees and animals, where a hatchet will serve you best. Tip number 13. Make sure to keep spare equipment at your base. Spare ammo, medical equipment, and food are very useful to have, so that if you die, you haven't lost everything you own. Tip number 14. Consider creating stashes to hide emergency equipment in the field. Stash bags can be looted from buildings and dead zombies, and when placed, can be used to store equipment. They are invisible to players unless they are within a certain small distance of them, meaning that if you hide your stash well, only you will know it's there. Tip number 15. Know your area. Getting to know the area around your base will let you know where good places to loot are, where zombies cluster, and help you find landmarks to navigate. Tip number 16. You don't need blood extractors. Really, you don't. Blood can be used to craft medical supplies, but you should get plenty of blood from hunting animals. By all means, take 1 blood extractor, But remember that it's reusable, so there's no need for more, even if the game keeps throwing more and more at you. I hope you find these tips useful. Thank you for watching, and have fun.